Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Manchester United versus Asian All-Stars. A week ago we were doing a Europa League final. A week later we're doing this. But yeah, you just, you know what? I just think it's hilarious. I think it's absolutely, I think we're just bantering ourselves actually. I can't believe this, you know. As I understand it, Liverpool, who are light years ahead of us, are all on holiday, preparing for next season. We've had a shit season and we're out on the other side of the world playing a game like this, and on Friday. Yeah, just you know, it is what it is, but bloody hell. Yeah. If anyone's got a positive for this, I mean, there is a positive actually. I have got a positive. You know, it took me a little bit of time, but yeah, I just it's absolutely baffling if we're being completely honest. But the team is Anana, Maguire, Dorgu, Delo, Heaven, Munro, Morehouse, Mainu. Sorry, I'll go through this again because they've done it in. I don't even understand what they've done here actually. I don't know what they've done on the United official page. If someone can tell me what they've done here, I don't know what the ordering is about. Is it 8? I don't know whether it, I don't know. So they've got Anana, Maguire, Rasmus Dorgu, Casemiro, Delo, Agate, Heaven. Oh, they've done it in number order apart from the goalkeeper. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Morehouse and Munro are playing. Mainu and Heaven are playing. Agate is playing. Obviously been rested for the last 2 games for this. And yeah, Casemiro as well. Bench has got the likes of Binder, Heaton, Amas, Armour, Evans, Fredrickson, Kamason, Kokonki, Collier, Bruno, Fletcher, Kone, Thwaites, Ahmad, Garnacho, Lacey, and Obi. No Xerxes, no Delit. So yeah, that's sort of like where we are with that. I'm just looking at the United Stand Twitter account actually here. So Rasmus up front, Mainu and Morehouse behind him. Munro is a right-sided centre-back, people asking. He'll play with Maguire and Heaven. Dorgu left wing-back, Delo right wing-back, Anana in goal, and then obviously Mainu and Morehouse behind Rasmus. Where's Mason Mount? Is he on the bench? Where's Mason Mount? Not even on the bench. Oh, has he played all his football now then? Rested for Friday? I don't know. I presume Mount's being rested for Friday because he can't play 2 games in 2 days. Yeah. I'm excited to see Fletcher, one of our own, his Italian man. He isn't actually starting, so that won't happen. I saw Italian journalist linking Ahmad to AC Milan, says Mark. Come on, everyone. Who's going to be our pre-holiday torture tour pre-season Perlo? Look, I'm actually excited to see Morehouse play, actually. If I'm being completely honest, it might be the only positive. Lots of people saying waste of time. We're just going to have a bit of a chat, effectively. So please share the video, subscribe. It's a bit of a Q&A. Imagine this, like I've gone live at 1:30 on a Wednesday for 2 hours just doing a Q&A. That's what I'm imagining it like. So I get to spend it with you lot talking about lots of things whilst there's an irrelevant Man United game going on. We could win a trophy apparently. Could be silverware here for Amorim. So, but yeah, we'll just get into a lot of topics. 1:45 kickoff, so it's going to be about 20 minutes. There is also a game on Friday. I will just confirm that one is against Hong Kong, and that's at 1 o'clock on Friday. So a little bit earlier, we will be here again. I like pre-season. Can I just shock you? I like the pre-season games because you've had a break from football. There's something at the end of the tunnel. You maybe see a few new signings. So I like the pre-season. I'm not taking the mickey out of going to the other side of the world and playing games. I like pre-season. I like our fan base around the world. And it's nice that they're so excited. But I also have to be true to myself. And as much as I understand Manchester United have global appeal, this is a waste of time. This is embarrassing. Like We are being bantered by every rival about this. They're laughing their heads off. They're like, you are absolutely dreadful. You are absolutely rubbish. And whilst our players are sat on the beach, your players are on the other side of the world still playing games. Old Van Dijk and that lot, they're sat there having a sangria. They're sat there with their feet up. Saka, Declan Rice. You know, we're out playing it. We're out playing these games for 8 million quid. Absolute jokers. But look, it is what it is. When do you think Cunha's medical will be? I think he's in Brazil at the moment. The World Club Cup makes this the World Club Cup's like the Champions League compared to this. United's underrated player of each of the last 4 decades, says Reese. I'm not doing that, mate. You do it. Why don't you do it? And then I could have responded to it. We need to use the momentum from Sunday's win, says Robert McCormack. And hello, I feel like it's wrong to sell both Rashford and Garnacho. We won't have a left winger left, says Mohammed. Yeah, Mohammed, do you realise, memo to Mohammed, we don't use wingers anymore, mates. How do I put it? You don't live here anymore. Great bit of comedy from Only Fools and Horses. You'd need to see that episode. Basically, Rodney gets married. And after his first day at work, he goes back to the house he used to live in. And Del Boy says, how do I put this in the nicest possible way? You don't live here anymore. And that's what I would say to you, Mohammed, about Rashford and Garnacho, and we won't have a left winger. We don't have a left winger anymore. We don't. Sorry, done that from Mark. Thank you very much for the early super chats anyway. Is it true we get Champions League if we win this tournament, says Mitch. So Jim probably thinks it is. Yeah. We're meant to be getting the team up on the screen here. It's just not working, is it? So I think I'm going to just take it off because it's just blank. Yeah, I'm going to turn it off. Might work might work in a little bit, but we'll bring it back if it does. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. There we go. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing Morehouse play. That's about it. This is like FIFA when you get bored and explore Asian teams for a laugh and none of them have them stats or faces. We might get the team news up. Apparently it's a bit delayed sometimes. What are you hearing about Mbeumo, Mark, says Jack? Look, this is a great question. So Beth's going to be live after this with all the latest Man United news, normally 2 o'clock show, but obviously we've got this. So Beth will be live straight after this, talking about all the latest Man United news. But there was a story I dropped into our group chat this morning, and it goes a little bit like this. Newcastle are ready to make a bid for Mbeumo. Man United have expressed an interest in Mbeumo, but are currently focused on signing Cunha. So Newcastle have the money and the speed to get the deal done before Man United know what's going on. That was reported by The Telegraph this morning. So that's where we are. That was after the news show. So that's where we are with that. Ken says, I think we'll get Mbeumo. We might get Mbeumo, but I also do have to say that this is not the first time certain journalists from certain outlets have been exposed as having no idea about transfers, but they do it for clicks. That certain outlet is one that you can listen to on the radio, and it's basically a 2-syllable thing, and I replaced the second word with shit. Basically, on Monday, they were talking about advanced talks, this, that, and the other. Here we are on Wednesday. We're not in advanced talks at all. Total nonsense. We're not in advanced talks. So, logically, I think Mbeumo fits Newcastle more than he fits us. But I also think that we have to try. But I think we've probably got to sell to buy before we get involved in that. Are these a real team, or have they just got together to play us, says Tom? Yeah, they've just got together to play for us, so they'll be even worse. It's like when you play the MLS All-Stars. They'll be absolute crap. This, Nick P, thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. It is not weekend. We would have filled the 85,000 capacity stadium, says Boone. Oh, yeah, really, yeah, good. That's great news. Really excited that we might have filled a stadium in a relevant game of football. Yeah, that would have made me feel a lot better about it. We filled a stadium in Malaysia. You'll never sing that. Rashford's camp met with Barcelona today. He's one of their names on the shortlist, says Fabrizio Romano, apparently. That's an interesting update as well. ESPN are saying that Man United have looked at Eze and Mbeumo. The issue is whether they can attract and afford the players they want ahead of a season with no European football. I mean, great news. Great news, that is. That's absolutely great. We've looked at players, but we don't know whether we can afford them, and we don't know whether... I mean, that's just brilliant. That's just great. That is. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant news that. We're looking at good players, but we don't know whether they want to come and whether we can afford it. Great start to a transfer window, that, you know. Always great, because the one thing I will always defend Man United about is, to be fair, they've probably been surprised by the summer transfer window. It's not like it's not like it's coming in May all season, and it's not like it's happened every summer for years. So they've probably been surprised by the summer transfer window just appearing. And they're probably looking at things going, ooh, can we afford it? Ooh, do they want to come? You know, you've got to be fair that it is a difficult job when you don't realise a summer transfer window is going to happen in June. Yeah, no news on Edison at all. Balcony, no news at all on him. Is there silverware? Yes, there is, and of course there is. Bilal wants to ass-tabate. That sounds very wrong. Bilal, I will warn you. It was slightly funny last night. It's just not going to be funny today. So any more and you're gone. If we sell Bruno and get 100 million, other clubs will up charges for the players we want to buy. I'd do this in August. Thoughts? Says KS3. Turkey would be more interesting than Mbeumo at half the price. As you just said, Mark, we don't use wingers anymore. I prefer a 10 and Turkey will be big, says Derek. Right, Bilal, that was your last chance. You're on a timeout. Sorry. Any more? And you'll be gone. Are these a real team? We've done that one from Tom McBride. And will these two games get us into Europe, Jacob? Little bit late with that one. It has been done, but fair play. Like it. Okay, I am still looking at... yeah, they're all warming up at the moment. Apparently, there is a Australian striker who plays for Sydney, who's done really well, who's playing up front. I forget what his name is. I don't think he's even starting. I don't think he's even in the team. No, he's definitely not starting. That name doesn't ring any bells. Yeah, he's not in their team. I forgot what his name was. Serkovic or something like that. Yeah, he's not in that team. Half expect us to get rolled over today. Would sum the season up, says Crying Scotsman. I can't. You know what? We've done a lot of Segacic. That's it. We've done a lot of things together over the years, and we've watched a lot of games together. In COVID, we used to do watch-alongs of past games. I have to say, this is a low point. I have to say, this is embarrassing, and it's not our fault. And look, it's an opportunity to chat, etc., etc. But this is a low. It really, really is. So, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Let's put it that way. It's a weird one. Mark, could not being in Europe be a positive thing, says Don. Only if we sign players that are really, really good. Here we go. It's in. Here we go. We always deliver on this channel. Ah, what? Man United's not there. But they've got them there. Oh, I can't speak. What's going on? I can't speak. I can't speak. We must have Matt's stats as well. No, that's the team. That's the team. Okay, we'll put them up for the moment because they're actually there. Well done. Okay. Zan, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Bilal, I don't know why you're still here. You've got to go. Sorry, mate. People are just saying it's a bit weird. Greetings from Malaysia. Finally watching a United game live with my dad, says Ferd. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're all doing well. Let us know where you're watching from. And Champions of Malaysia, you'll never sing that, says N. And Zona says, don't use wingers, but Mount was very wide in the final. And could not be, Don Edit says, could not being in Europe be a positive thing? Let's sing, says Bilal. Half expected us to get rolled over today. Would sum the season up, says Crying Scotsman. Carlos is lining up for them. Get your kit on, Mark, says Mark. And will these, I've done that one from Jacob as well. Okay. Can I only pray for no injuries, says Jackson. Yeah. Well, I mean, that. The thing is, there's no consequences with what Manchester United do anymore. I think there used to be consequences. I saw a clip, actually, today of Paul Scholes, and he looked young. So, I don't know whether it's 10 years ago, 8 years ago, but Paul Scholes looked young. He was a pundit, but he looked young. And he basically said Man United had lost the game, and it was a clip, and he was like, I don't want to see after this game social media posts about, you know, we'll try, we'll go again, this, that, and the other. And I listened to the whole clip, and it could have been from last week, and it was clearly quite a while ago. So I sort of look at United now, and I go, everything that people have been saying for years still happens. So all the rants and raves of 10 years ago, they're still happening now. So if we did get a bad injury in this, what's the consequences of it? We'd all go mad saying, why are we out there in the first place? Such and such is out for 6 months. Absolutely stupid. But nothing would happen. The club would just ignore it and go, oh, well, we got 8 million quid. So I hope we don't get any injuries. But even if we did get injuries, it's not going to make any bloody difference, is it? Nothing's going to change the way the club's run. Trung says, good evening from Vietnam, Mark. As a local, really excited about the match. You don't get tipped in Vietnam, Dong, very often, do you? Thank you very much, Trung. Thank you very much. No, we don't get many people from Malaysia or Vietnam in the chat, actually. So, very welcome. Michaels says, I have you on my headphones minimized at work. Please don't scream too loud when a goal goes in. That's absolutely not going to happen. You are so safe here. You're absolutely safe. There is not going to be crazy celebrations about goals in this. And I apologise for that straight away. That's the United team in that kit. Yeah, okay. Okay, I thought that was the Hong Kong team. Apparently, it's a right mess then, because this is meant to be the United kit. No, that's United, and that's them. There we go. It's sorted now. There's the United team then, and the stats are working. Lovely stuff. Okay. United team on the screen. So you have got Morehouse, number 64. Keep an eye on him. Munro, number 79. Opportunity for him as well. Hopefully we'll see a few of the younger players. I think that's the only real point here. I mean, if Rasmus scores a double hat trick, I'll kick the laptop. well, you know, if Manu has a worldie, I can just. This is what I mean as well. Not only do I think that this is a waste of time, I also think that this is a real potential problem, because if an Agate or a Manu plays really well, we're playing a bag of shit, but people will go, this is why I should have played him in the final. This is why I should have played him in the final. So there are stories like that, I suppose, as well. Will there be any AFC 26 career mode, says Jack? I don't know, mate. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hi, Mark. I'm from Malaysia. I'm not even at the game to watch this team after this season's performance. But I'll drink to that, Arkish. Well done. You've got brains. 7 minutes till the start of the game. We must sell the injury-prone players immediately, says Parker. Nick P says, I'm actually excited about this game. There's nothing I like better than trying to work at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and following an amazing team at the same time. Anyone else find the trophy unveiling cringy? I haven't actually got it on at the moment. I will keep an eye on it. Thank you very much for that. I don't see any purpose to this game, says Harvest. Money! Jesse J, it's all about the money, money. We don't need your money, money. We do need your money. Yeah, we do. It's a marketing match, says Danny. That's what football is now. It's sickening, actually. There's David May as well. Oh, God. Players are coming out onto the pitch now. Harry Maguire's the captain. There's a big bear in a pilot suit. Bloody hell. This is the death of football we're watching here. I mean, some people would say it's dead already, but this is the death of football. End of a long season, going to the other side of the world, playing an all-stars team with a big fucking bear dressed up in a pilot's outfit, waving at the crowd. This is a low point. This is a low point. Even Harry Maguire looks miserable. Harry, man of the match. Absolutely got the face of, what the hell am I doing here? Game's gone, says Excalibur. Just when you thought we couldn't banter ourselves anymore this season, here we are. Wow. This is a low. I tell you what, this cash better not be, it better be real money. I don't want to see this check bouncing. Yeah, account CB says, I saw that in Maguire's place. Which big players would you sacrifice in order to get owners, Mark? Says Benj. Which players? We're not killing players, are we here, Benj? Why have we got to sacrifice players? Stadium looks half empty. Perhaps traffic is bad, says Danny. Well, apparently it's because it's a midweek game. I don't know what time it is, local time. Where's Danny Malbec, Mark? Says Vibes FC. This best be fun. I've skipped a pub lunch, says Tumbleweed. Thank you very much. Hi, Mark. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the super chats. Neesum says, hope you're doing well. Apparently the match is on YouTube. Also, please take care of health after how bad the current team is. Thanks, Neesum. It actually annoys me that I spent time on this game, says Harold. Yeah, it is absolutely embarrassing, this is. It really is. It really is. I've even had to tweet about it. It's just a joke. I suppose I better sort of time out. Talking about proper football, though, we have got a game tonight for you, which is Manchester United. Not Manchester United. Anthony is playing against the almighty Chelsea. So get yourself over there. Players are just introducing each other here. Okay. Don't get much better than this. I'll tell you what, Liverpool fans are going to be dead jealous. They're going to be dead jealous about this. Nobody can tell me any different. They're going to be dead jealous. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort this stream out for the game. I've played the game. Okay, there we go. Stonesbury, thank you. Welcome to Members Club. Robert McCormack, Maguire back with the armband. Would like to see Kone starts as Maliki. I'm sure they'll make a load of changes at half time. Ravenclaw says, will we get our first trophy of the season today? Yes. Imagine the scenes if we lose, says Ray. Is Rashford more like Yamal or Rafinha, Mark? Rex, you'll be banned if you say anything like that again. Hope you realise this was 8 million already spent on Ten Hag, says Notorious. That jet lag must be awful, says Andre. United versus AC Milan midweek friendlies next season. What are the odds, says Harry Sinclair. Yeah, could do. They could look at stuff like that. I remember that being rumoured before when we thought we weren't going to get Europe and they were talking about mid-season friendlies around the world. Could happen. Great point, Harry. Great point. And that's a great point by Harry. Do you think United might get in contact with clubs and say, do you want to do mid-season friendlies in New York or something to make money? Just become a bitch for money. Hi, Mark. I hope you're doing well. Apparently the match is streamed on YouTube. Done that one as well. Love that. Love that. Right, I got to get the timer ready for this. 12,000 watching. Thank you. I've devised the ultimate banter day. We really try hard in the game and lose. Later, Anthony scores a brace and reveals a T-shirt. Life is better, says Nick P. Mario says, hey, mates. Again, I saw a post on Facebook on the Fabrizio page about Barca and Rashford's agents in talks. Yeah, I think it's happening, Mario. Hansi Flick himself has said that he wants to do that deal. So, Michael, welcome to the Members Club. Really hope we get Mbeumo for Newcastle and not to Man United, to Stephen. And Nick P says, I've devised the ultimate banter day. We try really hard in this game and lose. Later, Anthony scores a brace and reveals a T-shirt. Life is better here, says Nick P. Mwang will be the first Burmese soccer player in history to play against Man United. Means a lot to biggest Manchester United fan base in the world, says Cian. Lovely stuff. Great. Liverpool use data analytics for their recruitment. We go with serendipity. 10 years of failure starts with our recruitment. We have assembled a squad of past managers once and now have no backing for our manager. Sad what's happened, says Constantine. Hi, Mark. By sacking the woman on 170k a year, do you think Ratcliffe intends to hire someone who can advise him on how to run a football club, says Faded? Yeah, well, it certainly ain't Sir David Brailsford, is it? Ahmad's got better stats than Saka. Yet I hear no one calling Ahmad world class, says Marlowe. And Eric says, Maguire looks well pissed. Not drunk, just looks pissed off. Yeah. Okay, we're about to get ready started here. Let me get the timer ready. I think you can watch the game free on YouTube. I think they are streaming it free on YouTube, and I think it's slightly ahead of the MUTV stream, is what I've been told. So what I would do is I'd get two browsers open, watch it on YouTube, and have the live chat open. In fact, let's do the old Gary Neville watch-along thing. Get yourself over to the Man United YouTube page and say, everybody use United Stand commentary. Get as many of them over here as possible, because I'm telling you now, don't listen to the MUTV commentary. You'll literally drown in toxic positivity. They'll be coming in their pants when we score a goal, saying we have won the Champions League. This is the real quiz. So get them over here for real talk. Right, we're up and running here. Stadium's half empty. Oh my God! Have you seen it? Stadium's half empty. I can't speak. What an embarrassment. You know what? We talk about mercenaries in football. We talk about the people who go to Saudi. We are the ultimate mercenaries here. This is an absolute joke. Stadium half empty as well. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing, I'm telling you. Why is the stream ended? They've ended the stream. Oh, they're scammers. They're absolute scammers. You absolute scammers. Oh, they've done you big time there. They've absolutely done about 200,000 people. This football club, what an absolute disgrace. Get yourselves over here onto United Stand. We've got the game, but I've got it on MUTV. That is absolute scam. Play the game for a minute, then turn it off so they come to MUTV. I hate this football club. They are such parasites. They are such parasites. The way you treat your... Clip me up on this, right? Clip me up on this. I very rarely want to get clipped, right? They've got 200,000 people watching a live stream on Man United's YouTube channel of this game. They play it for 50 seconds, then they switch it off and say, come to MUTV. And pay the club a £5. It's all money. Absolute... That is disgusting. Nobody wants this game. Play it for free on the bloody YouTube channel because you've messed your fans up all season. No. Lure them in for 50 seconds and then say, come and pay a £5. Absolute disgusting. That is just not... That is horrible. The way you treat your football fans is disgusting. Mercenaries. Absolute mercenaries. Somebody's planned that as well. If you ever wanted to have a real example of what they think of as the fans, there it is. Lure them in and then charge them. Absolutely disgusting. What a joke of a football club that is. The season we've had, and you do that to your fans. Well, caught in 4K, mate. Caught in 4K. That's exactly what this club's all about. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, the game is up and running. We're live here. My timer's slightly out now because MUTV is slightly behind, so but it doesn't really matter. Make sure you're tuning in. If you're tuning in, make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Keep an eye out for Morehouse, number 64. He's playing in behind Rasmus. Let me get that stats carousel rolling around for you as well. You can see the stat. 86% possession. You'll never sing that. I'll tell you what, you might have won the Premier League, Liverpool, and bought 4 players already, but 86% possession, you'll never see that. You'll never see that. You'll never see that. 86% possession, you'll never see that. I can't believe they switched that off. The annoying thing is, the Man United YouTube page was 20 seconds ahead of MUTV as well. Crazy. I can't speak. Did you hear what Thierry Henry said as well? He was talking about how Man United have been in 4 cup finals in the last 5 years and Arsenal haven't and are still building. And I thought, mate, you are so predictable. Man United fans think you're a prat because of what you said about Yoro, so you come up with some sort of comment to try and win Man United fans back. Mate, we've won an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, and we've lost a Europa League and an FA Cup final. Arsenal have finished second for the last 3 years and are in the Champions League every year. I would swap to be in Arsenal's position every day of the week. Every day of the fucking week. We're in £1 billion worth of debt, and Thierry Henry's trying to make out that Man United are better than Arsenal. Jog on. Absolute nonsense. Are you going to tell us what's going on in the game? Yeah, basically, this team I've never seen before are just passing it around the back at the moment. I mean, I think some of these players deserve an award. I can't believe I'm watching Harry Maguire running around in the defence when he should be in Greece. Well, he's probably not allowed in Greece. They're in here. Offside. And he missed it. Stadium's empty. Yeah, it's half full. It's half full. Yeah, I can't believe I'm watching Harry Maguire running around at the end of a long, hard season at his age on the other side of the world. On the one hand, you've got football's never been so intense. It's never been so quick. It's never been so demanding. These footballers play too much football. And on the other hand, we've got, yeah, at the end of the season, we're flying to the other side of the world and playing 2 games in 2 days. Yeah. The other sides of the stadium are empty, says Parker. They turned off monthly. It has to be yearly as well, says Dragon. Apart from Leon, what was your favourite game this season, says Benj. Absolute prats. I'm glad I'm not part of it, says Arkish. At this rate, Sir Jim is starting an OnlyFans, says AMG. Sir Jim's in the control room, says Nick P. It's a big deal for Asian fans too, Mark, says Michael. Disgusting, says N. Michael says the manager of this team also manages Vietnam. How far has this club fallen, says Glenn. I know, it's disgusting. I just tweeted this out, actually. I'll read it out to you because it's actually quite funny. I should have put literally. To show the game for 50 seconds free on YouTube, then cut and ask people to pay for MUTV is a disgrace by the club as well. Unbelievable what they get away with now. Lost all connection with fans. Literally, because they cut the connection. But they have lost connection with the fans in a bigger way as well. Mike says, Garnacho's on the bench. Does that mean he's staying? Hi from Vietnam, Asian 2025 champions. Enjoy, says Michael. Hope you're doing well. Who's this Asian captain? Is it Sergio Aguero, says Rick. And remember, we beat Liverpool for the Bangkok Century Super Cup Supreme Championship, or whatever it was called, 2 pre-seasons ago. Greatest day ever, says Jackie. D1, thanks for being a member for 25 months. What was your favourite game this season apart from Lyon, says Benj? Probably Bilbao away. Amrim said it's important and must work as a team. Really hope we get Mbeumo, says Stephen 9. Oh, that was Morehouse there, but he just lost it. Well, what I would say from this first 10 minutes is that there really isn't a definitive skill gap between us and them. Who's the best player on the Asian All-Stars team, says Kaz. I won't worry about it. We won't see them again. Is Onana wearing the 3rd kit, says Bonk. He's probably selling the 3rd kit behind the goal while he's playing. I mean, that's the sort of football club we are now. Amrim's probably said to him, I've been told by Sir Jim, when you're not busy and the ball's up the other end, we've got a little stall for you to sign shirts and sell the 3rd kit. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised. We're on the attack, Onana! Shit! I've got to get my gloves back on. I really wouldn't put it past us. I think it was a great comment before about how United could next season, in between Premier League games, just fly around the world playing friendlies for cash. I've never been to Malaysia, Miyad, no. I know a few people have had. It's meant to be quite nice. Foul by Munro there. What do you think about this Munro? I've never really seen much of him, really. Is it true about a new Qatari bid? No. I think there's two positives to this. One, we get to see some of the younger players play. Two, the fans on that side of the world get to see physically Man United players. Maguire must be sick of the sight of Anana, says MT90. Daniel says, surely you just build these games into a longer pre-season. Shouldn't be playing now and risking injury. Non-football people making wrong decisions. It's really difficult, Daniel. I mean, look, I'll try to be serious for a moment. Anana's pissed off. He's had to go and get the ball. He's got shirts to sell. Vietnam are inviting United for a July match, says Michael. That would be stupid, wouldn't it? But you never know. On a serious note, there is no benefit to this in a pre-season element, because if you've ever played the game, at the end of a season, a footballer's mentality is really it's like a book. You finish a season and you close the book, and then you break mentally, and then you come back and you write a new book. So Amrim can't say to them, remember what we did out in Malaysia, let's carry it on, because the players will have switched off physically and mentally. Nice ball here by Dorgu. And Mainu looked quite sharp there, but it was a good interception. That'll be a corner. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the United Stand if you're new. Corner to Manchester United here. There is a game on Friday as well. Yeah, we're only 300 subscribers away from 89,000, by the way. So get your thoughts in there. Appreciate it. Corner to United here. Come on. Here it comes. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Who took the corner? Wasn't a bad corner, but... Michael says, I think we've got a lot of people watching from over in... let us know where you are watching from, by the way. You might be new to the United Stand, in which case we've got content for you live every day, 3 times a day, 8 o'clock at night UK time, 10 o'clock UK time in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon as well. So get involved. People want a penalty. Oh, God. I'm not going to lose my crap about dodgy decisions in here. Heaven's getting cooked, says Black Wolf. Baffling how the Qatar stories keep coming, says Forms. Qatar would love to buy Man United, but Man United aren't for sale. If I was Qatar and I wanted to buy Man United, I'd start buying up land around that regeneration project and say I'm not selling it. That was the clever move. Shot. It's gone for a goal kick, and Arna will get that. Look, there was a document which I've shown you before from 2017 about the regeneration project that the Glazers sent to Trafford Council. If I was Qatar and I'd done my homework properly, I'd have gone and bought some of that land way before. Because that regeneration project is the only reason the Glazers stayed. If they'd gone and bought some of that property, the regeneration project wouldn't work without Qatar. Simple as that, isn't it? Trust me, if you ever get into real estate and you want to get something in the future, or you think something might become available in the future, have a look at the land around it. Because if you buy land around it, if they want to expand, they've got to pay you anyway. And then you've got them by that. That's what top investors do. I think Qatar came into that and just thought, we've got the most money, we'll buy the club. 15 minutes gone. They've moved the ball around. They're moving the ball around much better than us. With us signing Cunha, who would be your ideal 10 if we can't get in Burmo? Sick of all the unreliable journalists. I just watch you for the news, says Cameron. I've not heard anything about United even having a number 10 lined up. All I know is ideally they'd like to bring another number 10 in. I don't believe we'll get another number 10 at the moment. When you listen to limited budget FFP, we need a striker more. So I'm not convinced we'll get a number 10 until we've sold people. Cameron, thank you very much. I'm not paying for MUTV, says Alberto. Thank you very much for that. Has Mantato not travelled, says Steg? I don't know. I don't know whether he travelled or not. Nick P is watching from North Lewisham. I was 8 years old in 02. They've got a corner here. Let's wait and see what happens. We're being outplayed here. We are being outplayed, you're right. Cross comes in. Oh, United are going to clear that. They've still got it though. They can't shoot. They can't shoot. I'll tell you that. I was 8 years old in 02 when my mum told me about United. She changed my life, says Duma. And MH says, I listen to you always during my work. Appreciate you. Thank you, pal. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Michael says, I'd be shocked if we win. If you didn't do United Stand, would you be watching this, says Ben? Mate, 100%. 100%. Because I'd be at work. So if I was at work, I'd rather be watching this than doing work. CF26 is watching from North Korea. That's great. Is there VAR, says Robert McCormack? Yeah, and it's probably better than ours. Greetings from Colombia, says CHL. Thank you, pal. They're all over us at the moment. Yeah, another shot. Look at the stats. What's happened to that 86% possession? Brian says, ironic, this is Man United playing ass. Defender says, best community in the world. Love from Norway. Thanks, pal. Jonathan David's going to Napoli, apparently, says Nomad. Napoli seem to be getting everyone, don't they? This is the problem, though. You know what? A lot of people in the chat are saying we're playing shit. What do you expect? Like, football is mentality. I would not want to be here. I'm sorry. You know what I'm like. I can be proper moody. If I've just had the season we've just had, I'm professionally embarrassed. The last thing I want to do, with all due respect to our fans, is get on a plane to the other side of the world and play a couple of games. I don't want to. And I can pretend to smile, but I can't pretend mentally to be there. And I think this is what you're seeing from some of these players. And I've got no sympathy for them because they've contributed to their own downfall. But they are also human beings, and I think that you can just tell. Simon Stone says, the organisers were talking about 60,000 crowd being here tonight. It's actually virtually empty. It's an embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment. Just an update on Ekatike. Chelsea are currently in concrete talks. Would like to complete the deal as quickly as possible as they're aware of Liverpool's interest. Chelsea are currently putting in the most effort. Liverpool also in race. However, departures are needed. Arsenal monitoring the situation as well. So that would rule them out of Delap. We'll get Delap. I told you. You know what? Listen to the United Stand this summer. We haven't had talks with Mbermo. We were never in for Semenyo. We will sell Onana. Delap was always the priority, and we knew we'd beat Chelsea. All this stuff from our source, and it's all going to come true. All of it. There's Dorgu. Casemiro playing? Is Casemiro playing? I know it's Maguire. Yeah, he is playing. He's playing next to Agate. Sorry. Heavens are next to Maguire with Monroe. Delo, Dorgu, Casemiro, Agate. Morehouse, Mainu, Rasmus. There's no player in history I want less than Delap, says Stephen Willocks. Yeah, but this is what we would have done. If we'd have won the bloody Europa League, we wouldn't be going for Delap either. It's like it's the consolation prize, isn't it? Chelsea aren't going to go for Delap now they've got Champions League football. It just shows you how crap the modern journalist is. Chelsea are ahead of Man United for Delap. They're not. Kirk has agreements with Liverpool as well, apparently, says Fazer. There's muscled Dorgo out the way there. Good tackle, though. Just want to say thanks, says Curtis7, for this season on the United Stand. It's been rough. Love this community from Australia, says Curtis. Appreciate that, mate. Go to the game. Check out his channel as well. I've seen some of your content lately. Thank you very much for that. Michael says, we're not that strong, Mark. United must be better. 14 months a main member, but been around since 2018-19, says Eric. Thank you very much, Eric. Zubamendi, Jokeres joining us. Have fun with C-Tech Rooney from Ipswich, says Zane. There's nothing you can say that can banter me more than watching this game in a half-empty stadium on the other side of the world at the end of a season. Would you risk breaching FFP and getting a point deduction in future transfer ban if it meant getting 6 or 7 key players in the window, says Muyed. All-Stars are made-up team made in 2009, says Don Edits. Guy who got fouled earlier, number 19, is from Australia for Adelaide United. Used to play against him. Dukuli, very good player for Adelaide United, says It's Pan. It's weird to feel sympathy for Sir Jim. Our owners put us into so much debt and all these years of overspending. There is only so much Jim can do, says good Jack. Yeah. Tell you what Sir Jim could have done. Not buy the fucking club. But look, as I was saying before, here we go. Good play by Morehouse. He's got a good turn of pace there, but he has to go backwards. My fear is we get rid of all these players for an Amrim system, then sack him and bring in a 4-3-3 manager, says David. This is the thing. If you go with Amrim's system and you sack him, there isn't really another manager out there you could go for. There's not many out there that would suit an Amrim team. But just going back to the FFP thing, Man United love FFP because it's an excuse not to spend money. If you had the right type of owner, then nobody actually knows if Man City are going to get found guilty. If Man City get found not guilty, then FFP doesn't even exist. Man United are adhering to rules that might not even exist. What do you... Nightlife says, thanks for the United Stand and the community. Any news on Mastantano? I mean, you're talking about a player that Real Madrid want. You're talking about a player that lots of clubs want. And would it not be typical of Man United to blow all their budget on him when he's a kid? And as much as I like the player, how many more kids are we going to buy? We need players. We need experience. Is this summer rock bottom? Surely the only way to go is up. Oh, they're on the break here. They're on the break. He's all on his own. He's going to get excited and shoot. Still going. Good tackle. Agate. Nick P says, Morehouse has done well since his swimming days. An athlete transformed. That's old school Nick P, Adrian Morehouse. We must be the worst attacking side in history, says Marlowe. We are playing this like a pre-season game, aren't we? Would you say this is United's worst season, says Riaz? Yeah. I mean, the Europa League, to a certain extent, covers it up. But yeah, of course it is. Get your questions in, by the way. This is a low point watching this, but it is also an opportunity to chat with you. 25 minutes gone. Whoever that's a shit pass. Bloody hell, I don't even know who that was to. Morehouse. I'll leave him alone. Leave him alone. It's not his fault. Just a kid. Protect. Protect. Yeah, we've got another one on Friday, yeah. Yeah, we're playing Hong Kong on Friday, so I'd imagine Bruno will play in that game. Yeah, Bruno probably playing that one. Mount is not even on the bench for this one. Lindelof. I presume Lindelof are playing that one. Good cleaner. Thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate it. Our midfield's really bad. I've got to stop myself assessing this like the players give a shit. I mean, I think they're playing good save and Arna. They're playing. They nearly scored. They're playing. You know what though? This is what makes me angry as well. 8 million quid. These players are going to be definitely playing half-hearted, half-arsed. You don't want to get injured, do you? I mean, that's the worst thing you want to do. I was talking to a player last week about this, and they basically said, it's such a waste of time, and if you go out there and get injured, you're not even getting on the plane to go and have a nice holiday with your family. You're at Carrington doing bloody rehab. So that'll be in the players' heads as well. Like, if you're Harry Maguire and you pull your hamstring, you're not heading on holiday. Next week, you're at Carrington having rehab to get ready for the season. So people don't think of it like that. And I know people will go, oh, well, they're on good money. They're on good money. I agree. But mentally, you know you've got a month off to go and have a holiday with friends and family. You get injured out there, you ain't going on that holiday anymore. You're spending the next month trying to get ready for the new season. So you can understand why they're playing a bit half-arsed. Look at Onana there. That's prime Onana, isn't it? Straight back into danger. Prime Onana there. Unbelievable. I mean, he's got to be the only goalkeeper in the world that when he makes a save, puts it straight back in the danger zone. Hi Mark, Ryan here. Can this get more embarrassing? Says Oob. We're in it together. We're in it together. Currently 30 degrees in Kuala Lumpur, says Alex. Andre says, personally, I like Delap. Sorry, I'll read that. A few subs being made here. Personally, I like Delap, even though I would obviously prefer a more experienced striker, but I should worry about the deal. Are Chelsea favourites? No. Don't listen to the media about anything to do with anything unless it's Ornstein or Romano. Have Ornstein or Romano said Chelsea are winning the race? No. It's the same people who said we're in advanced talks with Mbermo. Nonsense. What a waste of time this is, says Matthew. Players look knackered as well. Honest question, what do you see in Haaland? The guy can't do nothing right, says Jason. Honest answer, I mean, look, this is a waste of time. I'm not judging players here. But I do think that I pity any United striker over the last few years because we're not set up for strikers. He probably missed the boat with it. But if next season Delap comes in and gets service, I expect him to score goals. Haven't heard much about talk about a right wing back. Surely this should be more of a priority than a 10, says Nizam. Thanks, pal. Can you publish a list of banned words, says Ash G. Why? Is Ramsdale not an upgrade on Onana? Surely. I don't want... Why do people want Ramsdale, RJV? That's like... Going from Onana to Ramsdale in goalkeeping terms is like going for somebody who... Ramsdale is basically Onana with better shot saving capabilities. And I don't think you should go for that. If you want to just go for if you want to go for a goalkeeper that's no good with the ball at their feet, go for De Gea. Arsenal, Man City won Vietnam easily in the past, says Michael. 0-0 after 26 minutes. Embarrassing by the All-Stars, says False 9 Flies. Carlo says Onana is definitely one of United's goalkeepers of all time. Ash G says because my super chats rarely go through. Well, loads of chats go through, mate, so you must be just saying rude stuff. I don't know whether it's roll on, roll off subs, but it's they're all having a drink. I've never been to this part of the world, but it always looks very humid and hot. Super Donut says, I'm looking forward to NASCAR races in the new stadium. Bruno's picking his nose. Dino says, have you ever been contacted by the club about your content? Yeah, quite regularly, really, over the years. Normally, in the past, it used to be, we haven't leaked that, this, that, and the other, but they'll normally get in contact with us about clarity about stuff. Footy King says, appreciate all the hard work over the season. Thank you very much, mate. Is there anybody else? Is there any way it's possible to leave Onana there? Maybe hide his passport before they get the coach to the airport. No, we want to sell him, Nick. What goalkeeper is needed for United, says Riaz. And Paddy says, what do you think of Rashford only going on loan? Trouble is, somebody might say we'll take Garnacho, but we'll do it on a loan to buy. Somebody might say we'll take Rasmus on a loan to buy. Somebody might say we'll take Rashford on a loan to buy. We don't get the money then. If these players go out on loan, it's less money in the transfer budget. That's the problem. Orange says Terry on point with the Garnacho situation yesterday. Don't know what he said, mate. So I can't confirm it or not. He's on the 6:30 show tonight. Afternoon, Mark. Just wanted to know about the younger players that were on loan. Anything on them, if they will be part of the season or not, says Mohammed. And Robert says, I can't believe how we got scammed with Onana. JJ Avery, thanks for joining the members club and getting your badge in. What young players are on loan that are coming back? I can't remember who went on loan. Manu has a shot from distance. Goes for a corner. Wheatley. I don't see him being part of the first team plans. Jadon Sancho's not a young player. Gore, I think they're trying to sell. How has Rashford's reps met Barca was bad for us, says Alex. What does that mean? I think it's good for us if he's met Barca trying to talk about a deal. Tom says, I'm debating whether to watch the rest of this or go outside and count the blades of grass in the garden. It's a tough one, says Tom. Jen says, United can run off a friendly straight after the season ends, but we couldn't handle FA Cup replays, says Jen. Ash G says, I promise I'm not. I'll try again next season. Lee Berman says, these games are like going to a brothel for a hug. That's a foul. James says, why are you subjecting yourself to watching this lot? Because it's the United stand, because it's the biggest Manchester United fan community in the world, and because there's 25,000 of you watching it. So as I said, we've just sort of turned it into a bit of a Q&A. We don't pick and choose on this channel. We've always done the pre-season at 3 o'clock in the morning, playing some right... I mean, I did that bloody... Can't remember that game against Wrexham, summer before last, where it wasn't even the first team. It was 3:30 in the morning, and it was the youth against Wrexham. We did that. Nipan, Mark, I think, has gone to Villa. Ben Mitchell says, I've only been watching for 6 months, but since... Here is Mainu into the box, and that's going to go for a throw-in. Do you think he'll make changes at half-time? I bloody hope so. I'd like to see Kone come on. Oh, he might already be on, actually. I've missed the subs. I think he's already on in the midfield. Because Maguire's off. Yeah, he's all on. He's already on. Kone's on. And I can't read that. I can't read that. Kone's on in the midfield anyway. Morehouse has gone off. And Maguire's gone off. They've had more shots than us. Very equal game here between the All-Stars. Yeah, the subs were Camerson, Armour, Lacey and Kone on. And Morehouse, Casemiro, Maguire and Delo on. Lacey's a player to keep an eye on as well. Keep an eye on him. Oh, could have been a goal. Good save. Oh, I got more excited than I should do there. Now, Mainu. Is Lacey number 72? Oh, that's a wild shot there. Camerson, number 80. Yeah, Lacey is a good player. He's just had a bit of a few injury problems, but yeah, keep an eye on him. I think he's number 72. I missed it again on the screen there. Do you think United will get Delap, says Oscar? Yes. It's the end of the season. It's humid, but United's performance is a bore fest. Onana parries ball into the centre of the box, and Rasmus is showing why he's a goner. Yeah, I think Rasmus is playing like he's a goner as well. He doesn't look particularly motivated. Santa says, hi Mark, I'm from Malaysia. I'm not from Malaysia, I'm from Malaysia. Saw the team here for both games in 09. It's a dream come true for fans here to watch them live. Keep up the good work. And thank you very much. Is there credible information about transfer targets beyond Delap in all positions? Not at the moment, Edward. What happened to Obi seems to have gone quiet. I think he'll come on second half. What about Malaysia, Mark? Do you have any updates? Yeah, he'll be gone this summer, Romano. We win a trophy if we win the match, says Toro. Yeah, but that's not a formality at the moment. Ben Mitchell, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. And Tyler says, looks like MUTV did us a favour taking it down. Are you going to do Anthony Chelsea watch along? Yes. Our evening show tonight won't be at 8 o'clock. It'll be at 6:30 because we're going to be live at 8 o'clock on That's Football for the Chelsea versus Anthony's Betis watch along. What happened with La Liga? Where did they finish? Betis. Oh my God, they finished 6th. They fell off a bit, didn't they? Villarreal motored through. Barcelona top, Real Madrid second, Atletico Madrid third, Athletic Bilbao fourth, Villarreal fifth, Betis sixth. I don't know what 6th gets you in La Liga. JJ Avery, thanks for your super chat. Ryan Shin, welcome to Members Club. I do think United will get Delap, Oscar, yes. Alex says, ideally 40 million for Rashford, but I don't know why Barcelona want him. We can't even score goals in Malaysia, says Orange. Super Donut says, Gary Neville turns up at your house after his car broke down in a thunderstorm at night. Would you let him in for a night? Yes, because I'm a nice person. And do you think part of Amrin wants to keep Bruno because he won't get the full 100 million to spend on the squad? No, Namat. I think he wants to keep Bruno because he's obsessed with him and Delo. I don't think he'd sell either of those two players. That's going to go for a throw in. Ryan Shin says, any thoughts on Lee Kang from PSG for our second number 10? Well, we can all have thoughts and we can all throw players around, but my observation, Ryan, really is if we're not linked to them, I'm not going to bother talking about them because there's plenty of players I think we could all say that United should be going for. And as I've said before, Liam Delap would not be one of those players for me, but we're just going to have to listen and see what the club do. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up going for Tyler Dibbling from Southampton as well, because it's another player that Jason Wilcox has known before and he's obsessed by. So Tony says the Glazers screw the club, Radcliffe sacks. The United staff, then the United YouTube screws the fans. What did Radcliffe say? Put the great back into Manchester, says Tony. Who's your least favourite United player of all time, says Mehdi? Probably Di Maria. Kone's looking really solid early on, already making some good impressions. Which of our youth are you hoping to see turn up next season, says Zachary? Well, not Kone, because I think he's going on loan. Which I think is a good... I think it's a good move for Kone. Like, because if he can go on loan and play first-team football somewhere in Europe, then that's better than getting sporadic minutes here and there. I think some people will moan about Kone going on loan, but there is no European football. So where would he get the minutes? He's better off going on loan, I think. God, Enos. Who was that? That player looked really young. I didn't see who that was. Was it Armour? I think it was Armour. Glazers, thank you very much. Not Glazers, thank you very much. Bloody hell, take that back. I meant like, I'd read that. I was starting to read that comment. All Stars versus Fallen Stars, says Orange. What if it's a stranger instead of Neville? Jide, that's just your own little weird fantasy. I'm not living it. Form says, United signing you hated but grew to love. Well, I don't hate anything, Form, so I can't really answer that. Matthew H says, I'm beyond bored of this nonsense game. Would you rather know how you pass away or when you pass away? I'm not doing that either. Morbid. No, not that. No, not doing that. How's Zidane's Iqbal's development been this season, says Raja. Got no idea, mate. With so many teams in for Delap, if he joins United and it doesn't work, who does that reflect worse on, Delap or United, says Patrick Lynch? United. There's a lot of United fans who are concerned about Delap's suitability for this football club. If Delap, look, the reason Everton want Delap is because he's probably a good striker for Everton. The reason Newcastle want Delap is because they probably want him as an understudy for Isak. The reason Chelsea probably want Delap is the same reason. So you can't say that United are right to go for Delap because other clubs want him. Other clubs might want to use him for different reasons. Most United fans are like, Delap looks like a decent player, but he's not the experienced striker that we need. Zero Blade. Oh, we go. Oh. Shot Dorgu straight at the keeper. Tough watch, says J. Demo. Referee's adding minutes on here. I mean, I'd be literally 45 minutes below. Let's get them in for half time. Some good chats coming in here. I'll talk about them at half time. I like the look of Kone, yeah. He's just mobile on the ball, isn't he? Which is what you want to see. Should have gone to Kone there. Paul says, have any of the youth caught your eye so far? I mean, look, I think Kone's not been on that long, but he's looked good. I thought Morehouse on the ball looked quite good, but it's a very depressing watch. It's a total waste of our time, and it's a sham by Man United to be doing this. I mean, I just don't. I think I probably got more out of managing the sidemen, the YouTube All Stars, than Amrim's going to get out of this. It's about the same when it comes to actually footballing benefit. I mean, I don't know what he's kidding himself, but there's just no benefit to this, is there? Cunha is not official yet, says Rob. I think the Cunha deal will be official probably, I don't know, it might not be official till July, because officially we might not sign him until July because we want it in the next financial football year. But just because you've got a deal done doesn't mean you have to officially have it signed off yet. Referee has blown for half time there. So let me come back to the chat because we've got quite a few coming in here. United would probably lose against the full Asian All-Stars, says Orfa. With all of our financial woes, do you think the Super League will be back on to get income in? Says Angry Brits. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that we might be a driving force behind a Super League is very scary because we're so shit. Dorgu does nothing, says Breach. Thank you very much for that. Maybe we need a long throw specialist like Delap. Rory Delap, says Tristan. In my opinion, says Aki, Delap is a CA striker. It depends on how United set up next season. Same reason I've got my doubts on Gyökeres. I'd take Osman. He's the guy plus Cunha. Rate Rasmus so far out of 10 versus these cabbies for centre-back, says Mary. I'm not rating anyone out of 10 in this game. I'm not doing player ratings, Mary, because I think it's hypocritical to assess players in a game where I think it's a joke and I think they think it's a joke, and you can see it. Love Amrim, but keeping Bruno ultimately sacks him, says Barry. Start, bench, sell, Rude, RVP or Berbatov. Start Rude, bench Van Persie, sell Berbatov, Jojo. Would you shake a granny? I don't know what that is, Marv. We should revive the youth loan deal with Antwerp, says Carlo. And Form says, excuse my word use, signing you did not want but grew to love, says Forms. Well, the chat can answer that. Give me a signing that you weren't happy with but you grew to love. There will be a few. I'm normally very optimistic about any United signing, though, so I don't normally say I don't want that signing, and I'm normally right. Like, I didn't want Lukaku. He did okay, but I was right. I didn't want Matic. I did okay, but I was right. I'm normally very positive, though, so I can't think of a signing. Cavani, yeah. For me, Cavani, yeah, definitely, 100%. Fair play to the chat. I didn't want Cavani. I was very pissed off about that deal because... And I was right. Because I didn't want Cavani because he was old and injury prone. And he came to the club and he was injury prone and he was old. I did end up really liking him. Even though I was right. He wasn't available very often, but I liked him. I did like the player. He just was never fit. So yeah, I think that would be a good one. I never liked Fellaini. No, I didn't turn that around. I wanted Herrera, so that wasn't it for me. Stephen says, morning Mark, opinion on Obi and how he'll fare next season. Would you loan him or try to get him minutes in the current squad? I think you've got to loan him, Stephen. I think you've got to loan him because a bit like Kone, there's no point in having them sat on the bench not getting minutes. There won't be many games next year to experiment in. We've got to win as many Premier League games as we can, so we can't experiment. And in the Cups, we can't experiment. Like, a lot of teams look at the Carabao Cup and go, let's play the reserves. We've got to go strong. Amrim can't go, we've got to go strong in everything. So, scary. But so I would loan out players like that, yeah. Morning Mark, opinion. I've done that one from Stephen. When are we getting your boxing match against Carlos? It would be better than this match, says Isaac. And who would you rather keep between Rasmus and Xerxes, assuming we are signing another striker? We need two strikers, mate. If you think Xerxes is a striker, then you would keep Xerxes. But we need two strikers because if the striker we buy gets injured, we're in big trouble. Zlazy says, what about Zorloth from Atletico? Yes, he failed at Palace, but his conversion rate last 2 seasons is insane. Not been linked to him, though. Would you come to Malaysia for a holiday, Mark? Says Samantha. I'd go to Macclesfield for a holiday at the moment, Santa. Thank you very much for that. I think our team lacks athleticism, especially in the midfield. We need to sign more players to improve physicality, says Mohammed. Absolutely spot on. Hi, Mark says, who in the youth looks promising? Says 7-inch Destroyer. Sounds wrong when you read it like that. What about Camerson at right back, says Abdullah. Tyrus is gifted a membership and people lost their jobs for this crap. Cost cutting, says Kevin. And on a side note, is anyone into Parker? Been watching a lot of it recently, and at 47 years, I think I can jump from the floor to my bed. I've never heard of it, Nick P. Don't even know what it is. Has Barada given his interview on transfers yet? When is he going to give an interview? I don't know whether that was a cry for help, Murnal, from Amrim, or whether there is going to be an interview, but I've not heard anything about it. Is there extra time, says Killian? I bloody hope not. But look, if you are tuning in, this is how it looks at the moment. Manchester United are 0-0 against the ASEAN or Asian All-Stars. I don't know how you type it. But it is a very embarrassing affair. It's been a poor game from Manchester United's point, but also Simon Stone from the BBC is actually out there at a 60,000. I mean, look, think of all the journalists who've gone out there for this. What a waste of money. You know, if I was from the BBC, I'd be saying you could just be watching this on MUTV. They've actually paid a bloody fare for him to go over there. God, no. No. We were switched on. We were like, absolutely no way are we going out there for this. Anyway, I digress. Simon Stone's out there with the BBC, 60,000 capacity stadium. They were talking about filling it. I don't think it's even half full. Of course, every other team, I don't think any other team is doing this in the Premier League. So every other team in the Premier League, they're resting up on holiday. We are extending our season. For money. It's very, very embarrassing, this. Really embarrassing. The players look embarrassed. The players look like they can't be asked. As I said, I was speaking to a player last week and they were saying how this is just a joke as a player. Like, you've had a long, hard season. You go into the other side of the world. You just want to be off with your friends and your family. You go into the other side of the world. You're playing 2 games in 2 days. It's intense. It's demanding mentally. You know, people are shouting. They want you to sign their shirt. It's all right at the start of the season because you've had a couple of months off. At the end of the season, you just don't. You want to be anywhere but there. And also, you're also very aware that if you pick up an injury, you're not going on holiday because the club are going to demand that you're at Carrington for the next few weeks doing rehab. So it's just absolutely embarrassing. All for 8 million quid. That's what it's all about. All for 8 million quid. Scott Palmer says, if we are crap for the next 15 years, how long do you think it will take the Glazers and Sir Jim to realise they need to sell the club? I don't know, Scott. I don't know. I think if they get the regeneration project and the new stadium, they're never going to go anywhere. If they don't get the regeneration project, I think we might see some problems. Jace says, Mark, I saw a top 10 flops this season from an official account, and it's agreed in the comments that De Ligt is a flop from everyone but United fans. Are we collectively missing something or what? What official account's that? De Ligt's a flop? Mate, we do our player ratings after every single game. Our season player ratings, De Ligt was in the top 3 players. So Man United fans don't think De Ligt's a flop. I don't know where this is coming from. I suppose it's just... I suppose it comes from the same people who talk about the system at Man United. It's incredible to me. I just don't get that. But you know what? For people who think that it's a flop, you must go to sleep at night saying bear because you're a sheep to the media, basically. We don't have a pattern of play to progress the ball as a team with short passes, says Anil. And we end up attempting long passes which are not there. True. Thank you very much for that. Embarrassing from the club as well. I need to call this out because I don't normally ask for a call to action and I'm not, but I think it would be wrong not to call this out. Manchester United's YouTube channel had 200,000 people watching it because they believed the game was going to get streamed for free on YouTube, which it should have been. They played 50 seconds of the game, switched it off and said, watch the rest on MUTV. Apparently you can't sign up for a month. It's a year, 30 quid. That is just absolutely disgusting treatment of the people that pay your wages. Sir Jim Radcliffe, MUTV employees, whoever came up with that idea, these people pay your wages. It's disgusting. It's absolutely atrocious. No Man United fan should have to pay to watch this game. It should be free on fucking YouTube. So not only are you earning 8 million out of that, you're trying to rip United fans off worldwide to watch this shit as well. It's disgusting. It's disgusting behaviour. Absolutely disgusting. And but the problem is there's nothing they can't do in the name of this football club anymore. And I'm tired of saying this. If this was Liverpool Football Club, it wouldn't happen. The Glazers wouldn't be here. I don't know what it is about Manchester United that we've lost our sense of purpose as a fan base. We've lost the connection with the football club. They can just do whatever they want and it'll happen. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And I don't care whether the club like us saying that or not. Well, ring us up and have a bloody chat about it then, because it's disgusting. It's disgusting to treat your customers like that. The lifeblood of this fucking football club treated like that for a quick fiver. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Barada interview says, Ahen, where is it? Where is it? I think it's coming out. MUTV app is down as well, apparently. Oh, Omar Barada is talking. I can't see what he's saying. I wonder if I can get... I wonder if I can listen to this and tell you what he's saying. He's shit. He's got no... I've never heard him talk before. He's rubbish. Here we go, transfer window. I'll take a note. He's talking about transfer window now. Planning for months. Clear idea. Prudent. Yeah, he's not a very Barada is not a very convincing CEO. Yeah, so basically just listening to what he had to say there, just to summarise on the transfer stuff. So Omar Barada has spoken about Manchester United's transfer plans. He said, we've been planning for months. We've got a clear idea of what we want to do. It's now about executing that plan in a prudent way, but ambitiously as well. Get him a job in the Labour government. I mean, it's just spin talk. That is it. You know, we've had a plan for months. Bullshit. Like Beth just said, he may as well have farted down the mic. That's how useful that was. Absolutely crap. That's your CEO of Manchester United, by the way. That's the CEO of Manchester United. All the charisma of a dead butterfly. No, that might be. Yeah, no, that would be sad. Yeah, rubbish. Absolute crap. I've never really heard him talk before. If he's the representative of Manchester United in boardrooms around the world, wow, we're done. Just absolutely uninspiring, weak, and clueless. We should have a CEO like bloody Perez. I know he's a president. Man United should have a bloody charismatic, aggressive leader, and we haven't got it. He just looks like, you know what he looks like? He reminds me of a bloody bank manager. Rubbish, absolute rubbish, and sounds like Kermit the Frog. Does anybody else, when they're on YouTube, what's the name? I always get it as a pre-ad on YouTube. He's in a garage and he goes, "Hello everybody, I can't remember what I'm selling here, but I'm Kermit the Frog, Fonzie, hey!" No, he doesn't do that, but he speaks like that. It's something to do with cars. Maybe it's just for me. I know it's targeted ads, but every time I put YouTube on, I always get this pre-ad, and it's a guy in a garage going, "Hello, everybody." And I can't remember what it is. It's not Go Compare. It might be Car Wow or something like that, yeah. Yeah. Right, we're up and running for the second half. I'll get the timer going in a minute. I'll be able to tell you the subs in a moment as well. Terry was a bank manager. He'd be a bloody good CEO. B16. So the CEO of Manchester United is basically saying about the transfer window, we have a plan for months. We've got a clear idea. It's about executing the plan prudently and ambitiously. For those of you who don't know the meaning of the word prudent, it's not a good word. It doesn't mean we're going to spend loads of money. It basically means shrewd, thrifty, frugal. It's not a good word. It's not a good word. Okay, let's get this timer up and running for the second half. What do we got? What do we got? We got... I haven't got a timer on the screen here. Oh, I have. It's not in the right place. 46-18, 46-20, 46-25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There we go. Johnny Evans is on. I think Garnacho's on as well. Let me tell you what the subs are. You can see a lot of them there. Don't seem to have updated that, though. For some reason. I'm sure they will. Yeah, there we go. Bruno's on. Lacey's still on. I thought Garnacho was on, but maybe that's not right. Yeah, they still haven't updated that correctly, have they? Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, Bruno's definitely on. Fredrickson's on. Evans is on. I think Ahmad's on as well. Yeah, it looks like Ahmad and Garnacho are playing as the wide players. Bruno is with Collier in the midfield. Obi's up front. Yes, it's a completely different team here in the second half. Won't let me send supers. Here we go, says Anita. That's because you're being rude, saying things like my clitoris. Alexi Sales says Alan Noonan. Radcliffe belittled Woodward's experience, yet Barada's experience is very similar. Barada never appointed a coach until United. They were showing promo for new stadium at half-time, says Dean. Prudently means with care for the future, Mark, says Robert. It also means frugal as well. I think you and the Carwow guy would get along, says Jide. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Carwow. I sound like Kermit the Frog. I listened to the advert all the way through, so it obviously works. I like it. I like Kermit the Frog. If that is the CEO that is meant to take us to new heights, God help us, says Dean. Bring Jose as CEO, imagine that. Respect. Barada is useless, another non-footballing man, says Steg. Obi just had a shot that hit Garnacho up the arse. Omar Starmer, the charisma of a butterfly's fart, says Alex. Barada does look like he's taking United or his job seriously. He's co-playing. Get back to City, says Marlow FC. What's your dream signing of a striker? Says Jamie Yokeres. How long is it going to be before we get mid-game interviews with the manager, says Dance? I think it starts next season, doesn't it? In the Premier League. Sully says, Mark, you legend. Thank you. Thank you, pal. There is a Barada interview on MUTV, says Alberto. There we go. Thank you very much. Just caught up on your super chats. Thanks for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. So lots of subs made by Manchester United. Second half here. Basically, a whole new team in a sense. Bruno and Collier in the midfield. Obi, Garnacho and Ahmad as the front three. We'll get some goals second half. Bruno's on. We're always shit without Bruno, aren't we? Jacko says, the fact that the club made it impossible to watch matches without paying for MUTV makes me dislike the club even more. No way am I paying to watch this nonsense after this season, says Jacko. Well, that's what we're here for. We'll provide you with a real commentary. I mean, look, I haven't listened to MUTV commentary in about 12 years. But I guarantee you they're going, oh, amazing. Oh, it's just amazing. Some great football here going on. It makes, I tell you what, Liverpool will be watching this terrified. This is the start of the real Amrim thing. Forget last season. These players are cooking. You may as well call them Gordon Ramsay FC. They're absolutely amazing. You can just see the fear in the Asian All-Stars as Man United have wave after wave of attack. I've not seen football like this since '99. We don't even need any transfers. If anything, we should be paying. We should just give the money to charity. In fact, just give it to the Glazers. When they score, can you go crazy like it's a final, says Wolf in Blue. Corey says, TUS hate watching our own is a new experience. We're not hate watching. don't hate the players. It's what the club's become. I hate what the club's become. I don't hate the club. I don't hate the players. I hate what the club's become. It's embarrassing to treat your fans like that. They're in here. They're in here, down the right-hand side, offside. Nicholas says it's a bit of a new low. Playing crap and still can't score against a team of this quality. Embarrassing. We need to score, mate. I reckon there might be a few of that 8 million going to the manager of the opposition saying, we can't. I mean, look, the embarrassing thing here is we're here to make money. You can't have a 0-0. This will be like when I was managing the YouTube All-Stars and, you know, we were having a chat with the sidemen going, how do we get more goals? Like, you can't have a 0-0 on a tour game that no one gives a shit about. We won't get asked again. You've got to score goals. Bartek, thank you very much. Love the channel, he says. Welcome to Members Club, DJ. Verts has agreed a Liverpool deal, apparently. I'll have a quick look. I mean, what Barada said doesn't even make any sense as well. I can't talk about specific names. We've been planning for many months, considering different scenarios. We're clear about where to invest and we'll execute the plan. I mean, how can you plan for months, but then have different scenarios? It doesn't make any sense. Your plan changed last Wednesday, mate. Liverpool or Man City, you have to answer, says Fatine. About what? Yeah, Ahmad's on at the moment, yeah. All-Stars are a good team, to be fair, says Robbo96. Hello from New Jersey, says Ross. Good morning. Still morning there, I think. Robbo96 says, All-Stars are a good team, always a tough game. I love your videos from Colombia, says James. Love the channel, been watching since 2020, says Bartek. Verts and Kirkes to Liverpool. Let me have a look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Beth has just sent me something. We did an open top bus parade in Malaysia. Oh my God. Right, I'm going to put this on Twitter, right? This is not a joke. This is not a drill. Go to Mark Goldbridge and I'm going to retweet this so you can see it. This is incredible. I didn't even know we'd done this. So if you go to my Twitter at Mark Goldbridge, of course, give me a follow. I'm nearly at 1 million followers. But Man United basically did do an open bus top tour in Malaysia. I can't speak. Go to @MarkGoldbridge and have a look at it. It's not even a joke. It's not Photoshop. It's not AI. They're literally on an open top bus tour in Malaysia. They've got no shame. They're smiling and waving at people as well. Basically, they're doing an open top bus tour because they're in Malaysia. Hey, look at us. We're the shittest Premier League side that ever existed and we bottled a final a week ago. Get in. Get in. I wouldn't go on that. You know, this is the modern footballer though, isn't it? This is the modern footballer. I wouldn't get on that bus if you paid me. I wouldn't get on it if you paid me. I'd say absolutely no. Never in a million years. I'm not getting on there. We're going to get bantered. I'm not doing it. It's in your contract. It's definitely not in my contract. I have to get on an open top bus tour when we've had a shit season. I'm not doing it. I'll walk. I'll walk. C says you've got to understand it's for the fans. I don't care, mate. I'll sign the shirts. I'll smile for the photos. But last time I checked, Malaysia isn't the only people with fans in the world, Man United fans. Just because the Malaysian fans want an open bus top tour, 99% of the rest of the fan base think it's bloody embarrassing. I wouldn't get on it. I'd say no. I'll sign your shirts all night. I am not getting on that bus. I am not doing it. Absolutely not. Embarrassing. And the club are an embarrassment for making them do it. Your pals Chris and Cal said this is the toughest tug I've had in a while. Yeah, but you shouldn't be having a tug to football anyway, mate. That bus tour is disgraceful, says Eric. It's not AI, it's real. I didn't even know it existed. Shot over the bar there. Thank you very much for that, Eric. Allow it, brother. We're moving in silence, says Mario Franco. Mark, which team you remember that won the transfer window was the biggest letdown you remember, says Steve? Winning the transfer window is not a good thing to do. If you think about it, West Ham won the transfer window last summer, did absolutely shit. The team before it that won the transfer window was, I can't remember who it was. They had a shit season as well. It might have been Spurs. So winning the transfer window. Please, my side is splitting. Thank you, crap me up. CO sounds a bit weird, says Nicholas. You can plan for different scenarios, Mark, says Brandon. Garnacho is getting so much love from this crowd. Shame he'll be made to leave once the new season starts, says Ron. But this is something people don't understand. We have a worldwide fan base. Like, the worldwide fan base, some people will love that open bus tour. That's fine. But some people won't. It's called opinion. Not everybody's right. Some people can't wait to get rid of Garnacho, but a player like Garnacho is going to be massively popular in certain areas of the world where they just love Manchester United. It's like Rashford would be massively popular if he was there. Like, it's just the way it is. Who do you like more, Liverpool or Man City, says Fatine? I don't like either of them. J. Demo says, waking up at 3 a.m. for every game in Australia has been tough, especially with my newborn. Thank you for everything, Mark. You've made this season bearable. Thank you very much, J. Demo, and thank you very much, everybody who's watching and has been watching this season as well. Obviously, we're very busy now with the summer transfer window, but thankfully we haven't got any more. Well, we've got a game on Friday, haven't we? Rohan says, the bus tour is shameful. The Holy Trinity would be turning in their graves. Mentality of this club is atrocious, and it all starts with the Glazers. Harry Sinclair says, can we use the World Cup to force Shaw's hand into leaving? And do you think the plan is get knocked out of the League Cup to play friendlies in USA? Oh, I hope not, mate. I think we need to try and win the Carabao Cup. Although the Carabao Cup puts you in the Conference League. I don't want to be in the Conference League. Now that we're not in Europe, I can safely, honestly say, when I was saying I'd take the Conference League over nothing, I was only saying it for effect. I really don't want to do Conference League football. Scott Davies says, what's happened to Manchester United? Imagine this in any other era. Garnacho, surely. Lazy. Oh, no, he's offside. In any other era, shows the boardroom don't know the club and have dropped standards. So low, can't recognise the club, says Scott. I think what we've become is and it's not surprising with American owners, and I'm sure there's plenty of people in the United States who are going to agree with me this. We've basically become the we've basically become Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are arguably the most valuable NFL club in the world. I think they're the most supported. They're nowhere near winning the Super Bowl. And that's what happens when you've got American owners. They've basically turned us into a franchise where everywhere we go around the world, everyone knows who we are. Every game we sell out, no matter how bad we are. And we'll always make money for the owners. But we've almost become that football club where you'll still make money even if you never win. And that's what happened with that's what happens with some American sports, and I think that's what we've become. We've just basically become a franchise where they can take us around the world, because this is, and I'm not being disrespectful here, but to the European audience, this is disgusting. We can't get our head around this. We can't understand this. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing open bus top tours? It's just not the way we support our teams. We don't celebrate failure, but we're a worldwide club, aren't we? And that's what they've done. They've built this money machine. Just watch a bit of YouTube and he looks good. 50k apparently, according to Romano, says Billy. I don't know what the name is, mate, so I can't read it out. Ethan says, for your attention, that bus is just a city tour bus. Still embarrassing. Rich losers on tour being paraded overseas, says Jack. Hope you're well. Been watching United Stand for 5 years. Love the content. Keep it up, says Joey. Thank you very much. Look, if I had my way, people wouldn't be asking for their shirt to be signed. People wouldn't be cheering them on. I understand why they're cheering them on, because we haven't been to this part of the world for years. But, and these people get to see their heroes that they get up at ridiculous hours o'clock in the morning to support them. So, you know, they get to see them in real life. It's like Justin Bieber turning up, isn't it? But personally, I think they should be booed for the way they've played football this season. They're the worst ever Man United side in history. In Premier League history. What's the lineup, Mark? I'll put it up on the screen for you. Standards are on the bloody floor. People talk about standards. They're on the bloody floor. Billy, I've just read what you've put there. I mean, how stupid do you think I am? Very stupid by the sounds of it. Imagine we don't score. Imagine we don't score. You go all the way to the other side of the world on a promotional tour and you don't score. Here's Garnacho. Tackled. As an American, I will say American owners have one of two objectives: be really good or try to be profitable. Some American owners here in America are really good because they just sign checks to make the club better, says Eric. Yeah, look, the last thing I'm ever going to do, and anybody who watches this channel will know that, I'm not going to disrespect the Malaysian fans for being excited for seeing Manchester United because you don't get to see them. I get that. I disagree with the adulation, but I understand it. I respect it. The Glazers are Americans and they treat us like a franchise. They don't care about winning, they care about making money. But there are also Americans in charge of Liverpool who want to be successful. There are also Americans in charge of other NFL clubs who want to be successful. So the Glazers are a bad representation of American ownership, but not all American ownership is going to be bad. Look at the way Birmingham City are being run at the moment. Very, very imaginative. They want to reinvest. They want to make them successful. And that's where I think some people are. I think Gary Neville said it before, you know, he's quite negative about American ownership. But British ownership can be terrible. Look at Mike Ashley at Newcastle. Do you think the empty stadium means we don't get 8 million? No, we'll have had that check before, Matthew. Barada says in most of interviews, we want to be the best for our commercial partners, never for the most important people, the fans, all about cash. Says, mate, they do not care about the fans. I'm sorry, I will be rude about this. If you're a Man United fan and you think Omar Barada or Sir Jim Radcliffe or the Glazers give a shit about you, you are a moron. There are so many examples of it. They do not care about you at all. They're not bothered at all. There's so many examples of it. I think we just brought Morehouse back on here. So I think you can do it's roll on, roll off. Ohan says, hi Mark, off topic, but we've organised a charity match at Molineux between a selection of corporate footballers against England semi-pros on the 3rd of June. And would you be interested in playing, says Ohan. Absolutely, normally, yes. But I'm not fit to play this year, unfortunately. I've had a few offers this year. Remember I played at Anfield? I've got that video up, and I did Anfield, I did Selhurst Park last year. But I'm injured at the moment. My hip's a right mess, as you might have known from last week. So I'm probably going to end up having to have an op. So I'm out, unfortunately. That's why I'm not standing up for this. There's a history of hip problems in my family. Boring update, I know, but he did do a super chat, and I wanted to be, you know, respectful. We can't score against some random Malaysian guys. Mark M. Parker, that's just very derogatory. It is the Asian All-Stars, you know. I don't know what their previous results are, but let's put some respect. United, Guna here in peace, would take Mainu and Garnacho in a heartbeat at the Arsenal. Baffling to see how they're being allowed to leave, says Richie. YOLO says, United are like the New York Yankees, known worldwide and everyone buys the merch, but are the worst team in their leagues. They are. YOLO, that's absolutely spot on. When I want a cap, I quite like the NY cap, which I think is the Yankees, isn't it? Massive, massive commercially, but not very good. I've been watching the United stand since the 80s, says Natty. Lovely stuff. I'd like to know how much of our American support has went up since the Glazers took over United, says Fernando. I love our worldwide support. I've always said that from day one. Like, I think some people are very disrespectful of it. And I think I probably don't mention it as much as we did in the early days. But if you're a United fan, you're a United fan. I don't make any difference based on where you live or whatever. I learned very, very quickly that there's people all around the world getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch Man United play. And, you know, you might live in Manchester 5 minutes away from the ground with a season ticket, but at the end of the day, it takes you 5 minutes to get there and then it gets 5 minutes to get home. It's great that you can do that, but there's people who've been watching United for the last 10 years getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, just think of the shit they're watching. So I'm always going to be very aware that if you're a United fan, you're part of the United family, but people do think differently. And people think differently in England, you know. There's people out there, win, lose or draw, back the players. Bollocks. Never believed in that. Respect is earned. Not to back this shit. Imagine that. Where are those people now? Win, lose or draw, get behind the players. So we've just had the worst Premier League season ever and we're meant to be cheering them? Come on. Somebody says there's been a goal. It's for them. Oh my God. Oh my God. I never thought in a game like this we'd be taking the piss like this. It's absolutely incredible. Bruno's just, I mean, I don't know what to say. The chat's laughing their head off. I think Amram needs to walk on the pitch with a mobile phone and Google Maps and say, mate, we're not playing Brentford away. We're playing in Malaysia against a team that doesn't play together, what the hell are you doing? Can we get any lower? Can it get any worse? Yes. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing anyway. It's embarrassing to be there, but we can't even score. We've gone to the other side of the world to find a shit team to play, and we can't even score against them. God. Look, on a serious note, you can't... I mean, they've changed their whole team at half-time as well. So have we. Cowboys are a better comparison, says Omar. Yankees went to the championship last year, currently have a top record and have spent a lot to improve their roster. Man Utd Now is the Dallas Cowboys and Ferrari, says Kevin. This is for your summer kitty, says Ray. Good on you for doing the watch-along. Can't stand any more sleepy football from United. I'll be back with you next season, says Ray. Thank you, Ray. Legend of the chat. So basically, you're complaining about any pre-season games outside the UK. No. See, this is what sometimes happens, right? Somebody takes something I haven't said to try and make something you know, a bad point. You complain when it's in the US, you complain in Asia, you will complain in South America, you will complain in Africa. See, I've not said any of these things. Thank you very much for your super chat, free kick. We'll move on. Negative, negative. If someone says they set a high bar at Limbo, as they say, they're really good or bad, says Harry Sinclair. Talk about bus tours. Wait till you guys see how they opened the signing session with Glory Man United, says TP. Jonas says, I don't know what's worse anymore. Cowboys also traded their best player to build a Super Bowl winning team, and everyone thought that they were crazy. Herschel Walker in 89, says Tim. We need owners like the New York Yankees build teams to win World Series titles, says Sean King. Do you think empty stadium... Oh, I've done that one from Matthew as well. Well, United have got 15 minutes to score a goal. They've gone to the other side of the world to play for. They're losing 1-0 here. Fair play. Fair play to the Asian All-Stars, though, for actually having a go. I'm actually glad they've had a go. It's made a game that's got no... It's made a game that's got a total waste of time actually a little bit more interesting. It would have been a piss take if we'd won 5-0. Launch the campaign to sack Mourinho Amorim. Who said that? This Addy. Bruno looks disinterested as well, doesn't he? Bruno Fernandes, flop of the season, beyond the shots. Bruno's going to take a free kick. If you put it on target, it might go in. Delbridge. That's why people are saying Delbridge. There's a player out there called Delbridge, and I did an Only Fools and Horses reference earlier on. Delbridge. Spooky. I think Ahmad had a shot there, yeah. Yes, it is 1-0 to the All-Stars. I reckon YouTube All-Stars had beat this United side, though. I reckon Poundland All-Stars had beat this Man United side. I think YouPorn All-Stars had... You just go on and on and on and on. Stevie Wonder All-Stars had beat this United side. Dog and Duck Pub All-Stars had beat this United side. Just keep them coming, keep them coming. We're done. Glazers out, says Bobby. And Jem says, at least the Malaysian fans are getting the same consistency we've had week in, week out, says Jems. Well, how many years have you waited for United to come to Malaysia? You're not even going to get a goal the way this stands. The funny thing is, we're going to get £8 million for this. How many of these Malaysian fans are going to walk out and go, I'm supporting Liverpool? You're testing the loyalty of them, aren't you? They would have been really excited. We'd have been better off not going. The mystery might have been better. They've all turned up for this and they're going to go, I ain't doing this. Just lost about 1 million Malaysian fans. They're all signing up for Liverpool. Best wishes to you and your mental health, Mark, says Fern. How about the Carlos shirt, says Ishmael. What people comparing this team to the Yankees are failing to realise is that the Major League Baseball has no salary cap and FFP doesn't exist. There is no comparison, says Z3. I'm certain this team would still concede against 10 sunflowers and a scarecrow, says Dance. Even if they're playing half-hearted, it's a joke, says Matthew. Thank you very much. There we go. Thoughts on Leicester? Think they're going to come up again, says Natch. I thought they were getting in trouble, Leicester. Is there a match reaction? Are you having a laugh? Mate, I would rather go live after taking a big crap and rank that out of 10 than do a match reaction for this. I'm not. I'll do the watch along today and Friday. I am not doing a match reaction. No way. That's like getting me on that bloody bus tour. There's a line I will not cross. Somebody just said, could you do that as a video? Post-crap match reaction. To be honest with you, in my job, often used to come back, sit down and go, tell you what, that was 10 out of 10. Especially if you get the phantom wipe. That's like man of the match. You know, when you wipe and there's nothing, you're like, I can't believe it. I've just dispatched half a ton of crap and there's nothing to wipe clean. People say it's disgusting. It's still not worse than this, what we're watching here. We're not even going to win this tour. There's a cup here. Not even going to win the prize, says Matthew. Is there a prize for this? 175k. Losing this would be the highlight of the season, says Sturdy. Bruno's playing Saudi soon. He's in Asia already, says PXA. I'm immune. I'm immune to embarrassment when it comes to United now. It can't get any worse. It's hilarious. One white mark, says Rock. Is Garnacho. Should be an equaliser. Good block. I think it was Obi with the shot. Thank God we don't need many players, though. Our owners need to take a grip. This is shocking, says Makel. I'll tell you what I find interesting as well is that, and I don't think this will get picked up by a lot of people, but who is in Malaysia? Why is the CEO in Malaysia? Is he not needed for transfer business? Oh, I've got Zoom. Great. Thoughts on supporting two different clubs, says Vez. If it helps your mental health, I'm not going to knock it. But Twitter are blaming the formation, says Robert. Oh, mate, if we're tactically analysing this game, we truly are morons. Like, it's not even worth saying a player's shit or the system's shit or anything like that. This game's a waste of time. You can't take anything from it other than you'd expect to win it. But honestly, at this stage, you can just tell the players that can't be arsed. United is like that Germany bloke in Indiana Jones. Their faces melt off when presented with a cup, says Ross. Will Man United be picking up the losers medal at the end, says Robbo. Embarrassing, says Curtis. Thank God we don't need many players, says Makel. Our owners need to take a grip. This is shocking. They'll lose to Hong Kong on Friday, Mark, says Peter. Well, Hong Kong will be better than these, won't they? I think tune in on Friday because we're playing Hong Kong and I think they're better. Ahmad just missed a good opportunity, actually. Crap reaction, says Captain, instead of a match reaction. When you think it cannot get any worse, the team go to the extra mile to prove to us they can take us lower. At least they're consistent with that, says Jenna. We have got a live show coming up for you straight after this, by the way. Beth's got all the latest United news. Still got 8 minutes to go of this enthralling game. Oh, God. Oh, God. Amaster Salford, what's that all about? Paul says, what the absolute frick am I watching? This is horrible, says Paul. Ten Hag's probably laughing, says Ashish. Ten Hag's contributed to a lot of this, though, hasn't he? I mean, Amrim does need a transfer window. Hopefully he will get it. Got to laugh, says Fernando. Keep us from crying. Well, we're laying siege to their goal here. Bruno cleared away. Poor Amrim for needing to work with these lots, says Makel. And MUTV commentators said United deserved to win. Oh, mate. MUTV saying we dominated possession second half, says Robert. Mate, welcome to the world of MUTV commentators. Fortunately, I haven't listened to it for a decade. It is absolute. And look, it's MUTV, Man United TV. It's like having MGTV. And people, you know, having commentators to talk about my videos. They'd be going, he's stunning. You know, he's brilliant. His analysis is the best we've ever seen. Yeah, that's in defence of them. That is what they're doing. It's completely and utterly propaganda. But it's Man United. You know, that's the whole point. They might get another goal here. No, he's offside. He's offside. How bad has it been, says Hamid? Let's just say by tuning in late, you've saved yourself a bit of trauma. How am I going to break it to my child that United lost the whatever this cup is called? Seb doesn't even know United are playing. I think that's the best thing to do. He doesn't even know. Has a manager ever been sacked on pre-season? He's not getting the sack, V. This team failed to show up at Old Trafford all season. Not shocked they're a no-show in Malaysia, says Am. This trip isn't going to do anything else but hurt them. If they were sensitive about social media responses before, the memes made of today, just wow, says Niall. Oh, mate, it's just damage. You're right. It's just going to damage a team that's already on its arse anyway. Paid a subscription for this snooze fest, says Aditya. I'd advise you on Friday just to tune into the watch along on here, and I'll give you the commentary. I really wouldn't be paying for MUTV. It's an absolute waste of time. Fans are leaving early as well, says Swish. Embarrassing. I mean, to go all that way to Malaysia and not score a goal, it's embarrassing. It's so bad. Making fans think it's on YouTube just to disconnect is borderline disrespectful. This team is disgusting, says Vez. Man United need finishing sessions. They just cannot score even though crazy amount of chances, says Paul. Gaz, welcome to Members Club. Amorim is being hung out to dry. No chance he gets what he needs, but fair play for pinning the transfer window on Omar before the window opens, says Gaz. I think what Amorim's being asked to do is take this squad, have a 2-month break, have a pre-season, make them good. I just don't see it. He needs a total rebuild. This might be what, has Bruno made his mind up? I'm sure Bruno will stay, but you'd almost be saying, if you're Bruno, like, what the hell, this is not going to improve. Don't forget, tonight, I am on That's Football for Anthony against Chelsea. Betis against Chelsea, watch along. Team Anthony, definitely. Definitely. Looking forward to it. I imagine this. Tell you what, though, what I will say is, I imagine this is what the Club World Cup will be like. Hope Amorim walks. He's ruining his career, says Bobby. Hey now, they're the All-Stars. Get our game on, says Marble. It's a shame we didn't use Ronaldo's presence as the spearhead to go against the Glazers. It was a missed opportunity. Instead, all we have is Gary Neville, says Danny. Yeah, but Gary Neville's working with the Glazers, isn't he? He's doing the... This has been a disaster as a tour though. Garnacho, yeah, I mean this has been an absolute disaster. You get 8 million this year, but you won't get 8 million next year. And also, a lot of these fans, we shouldn't have done this. This, sometimes you do something for money and it absolutely ruins you. Like, we obviously have got a lot of fans in Malaysia who love Man United. I think a lot of them are quite rightly going to go home and say, I ain't watching this shit anymore. I'm not supporting this team anymore. A lot of them will be going home. New kit season, Liverpool. We've done ourselves more damage here. You fly to Malaysia, you don't score a goal, you play absolutely shit, And you think these people are going to keep supporting you? What's happened to this football club? It's an embarrassment. You're meant to go and win 4 or 5-0 and instill confidence and happiness in these people. You've just depressed them. Absolutely depressed them. They're leaving. Yeah, we've lost what we've earned, £8 million, but we've lost respect. This has been the best result Man City and Liverpool have ever had. And they're not even playing. Shirt sales have just gone through the roof for Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal. I'm doing the Conference League final later, yes, for Anthony. Yeah. Ryan says Malaysian fans are more loyal than that. Mate, I'm taking the piss. But honestly, we will not be attracting the new fans the way we should. Like, our fan base is not increasing. It's a fact. It's going down. Sardi says, you're an embarrassment. Stop bringing down my club. Yeah, the last time I checked, I wasn't Joel or Sir Jim, mate. Trust me, if I was in charge, this club wouldn't be doing this. And I'm entitled to my opinion just the same as you, mate. This club's a fucking joke. It's an embarrassment. It's a shell of its former self. It sold its soul to the devil, literally. I'm actually happy about this result. Because if we'd gone here and won 5-0, they'd be going, oh yeah, we're scamming people now. This is the reality. This is the reality. You deserve to see this. All around the world, this is the reality of Manchester United. I hope we get beat by Hong Kong on Friday as well. I hope people see the real Manchester United. We've got to stop being a football club that can make money when it's shit. The more reality, the better. This is the reality of who we are. See you in the Championship next season, says Bradley. ABG says, no way we get beaten by Hong Kong. I don't know who's better, Hong Kong or Asian All-Stars. I don't know. Probably Asian All-Stars, I think. All your latest Man United news is coming in straight after this. We've got Beth in the studio talking Rashford Barcelona talks, the latest on Mbumo, the latest on Delap. We'll be reacting to Omar Barada's comments as well. So the conversation continues. And then tonight's 8 o'clock show is at 6:30. Oh, it could be 2. Could be 2-0. Oh, he's missed it. Really should have been 2-0. He sort of messed up his touch. And goes for a corner. I think they're playing this on until we score because we've had about 5 minutes. We've actually lost. We've actually gone to Malaysia and not scored a goal. We've lost 1-0 to Asian All-Stars on a tour at the end of the season that nobody wanted but was done to promote Manchester United. And we promoted Manchester United all right. We've just shown the whole of Malaysia exactly what we've been doing all season. Stinking up the joints. What an absolute embarrassment. That is embarrassing. I understand the players probably don't want this at the end of a season, but fucking hell. To not... So a week ago we play a Europa League final, we don't score. And then we go to Malaysia and we don't score. Fucking embarrassing. They're embarrassing. It's laughable. It's absolutely laughable. They're an embarrassment. They're a joke. They're an absolute joke. Mate, I know it's not Bruno's fault, but you could get 100 million and start building a fucking team. It's not pre-season, it's the end of the season, mate. And there's a few people in the chat saying it's pre-season, chill out. No, I'm not going to chill out. I'm actually hilarious. It's hilarious. It's really funny. I'm not going to chill out. I'm not even stressed. I think it's funny. I'm laughing at it. I'm not going to chill out. I think it's hilarious that we've gone to the other side of the world and we can't score a goal in a glorified exhibition. We can't even score a goal for all those fans who've paid that money and, you know, idolise them. We can't even score a goal for them because we're that shit. This is Manchester United. This is this season. It's the worst Premier League season we've ever had for a reason, because we're absolutely shit. This is Manchester United. This is what we are. I think it's hilarious because you know what? Ruben Amorim doesn't want to be there. You don't want to be there. The players don't want to be there. The only reason we're there is because of bankers like Barada and Brailsford and Joel and Jim. The only reason we're there is because they think it's a good idea. And again, another one of their good ideas is an absolute mess. Again, mess. That is United's ownership strategy. Put a grenade in a trifle and then moan when there's bloody jam everywhere. Carnage. Oh, let's get Dan Ashworth out of Newcastle, then sack him. Let's back Ten Hag, give him 300 million and sack him after two months. Let's sack a load of people and we'll be better for it. We'll have the worst season we've ever had. Let's bring a manager in with a totally different style of play and not back him. Absolute everything they took. Let's go to Malaysia and Hong Kong at the end of the season for 8 million. It'll work out really well. We'll grow our fan base. We go out there, we don't even score and we lose. It's everything they touch is an embarrassment. Their strategy is absolutely hilarious. And to top it all off, let's get 200,000 people ready to watch the game for free on YouTube and switch it off and try and get them to pay for MUTV. Mercenary United, that's what we've become. Results are secondary as long as they can make some money out of this club. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I'm telling you. Anyway, Beth is waiting in the studio. So we're going to go live to the studio and we're going to be reacting to the latest Manchester United news. Because Omar Barada spoke at half-time about the transfer budget and being prudent. If you don't know what prudent means, it's not necessarily a good word. Also, the latest on Mbermo and also Marcus Rashford and Delap as well. So let's head over there. And you can have your say on there as well. We're back at 6:30 because we haven't got an 8 o'clock show tonight. And also 8 o'clock tonight on That's Football. You can join me for another watch-along, a proper watch-along. It's Chelsea against Anthony's Betis in the Conference League final. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. Only one more to do on Friday, but I'm actually looking forward to the Hong Kong game now. I think if we lose that one as well, it'll be hilarious. Speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching.